And we are live. Welcome into the Arena, Multiplatform Gaming News Podcast morning show for Friday, December 2nd, 2022. I'm your host, Expat, along with my co-host, Burley of Burleman Gaming. Burley, good morning to you. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. It's Callisto Protocol Day. Yeah.
Well, it's Midnight Suns Day, isn't it?
It's both. It's both. I see. As soon as I said Callisto Protocol, I was waiting for you to say Midnight Suns. Yeah. Yep.
You knew I was going to do
that. Yep. So both of them come out today. We're going to be going over the review roundups of those. We're going to be talking about Persona 5. Persona 5, 6 years on, man. 6 years on, and it's still chugging along and selling millions of copies. We're going to be talking about that later in the show. But yeah, before we get into gaming, Burley, I just want to say, Japan, good on them. They defeated Spain. Our viewer of the show and good friend Fubu, he was talking about how Spain they tanked it because they didn't want Germany to be in the next round. I don't know. But I mean, Japanese people here in Japan, they're so happy and they're so proud of their team, and I'm happy for them. And a lot of my students, they got up at 4 a.m. to watch the match,
Oh, wow.
But I'm trying to tell them, I'm trying to warn them, because Japanese people, when stuff like this happens, all the pride kicks in and they really get overconfident, and I'm trying to tell them right now, just hold your horses, just be calm, because, there's going to be if you guys lose, there's going to be a major letdown, so, I have to agree with Fubu in a sense that Spain probably, they didn't have their foot fully on the gas for this match. So if they have to play Spain again, I think it will be a very, very different outcome. But we shall see. And the United States too. Hats off to my country, the U.S. Of course, they're in the elimination round now too. They're going to be playing the Netherlands. So and Japan's going to be playing Croatia next. So anyway, and of course, Burley, sorry, Canada is they've gone back home.
Yeah. As we, the country Canada, don't really care. I know I know there are people in Canada that care about the World Cup. Yeah. World Cup has never meant nothing to me.
It's kind of similar in the United States. I mean, but women's soccer is much more popular, I think, than men's soccer. The women's team have won the World Cup. So, and the men's World Cup in 2026 is in the United States. And an interesting fact I found out was that the average age of the American team is 24 years old. So They are like one of the youngest squads out there. And so they're building for the future. And so, they're prepping for 2026 when the World Cup is at home in the United States. So, but exciting for Japan and for the United States. So, we'll be looking forward to seeing the results coming up this next week. But anyway, so Burley, one other thing too, we got a trailer for the Indy Jones movie coming out next June. Are you excited for that from the trailer that we saw?
No, the trailer did not build me hype. This was a movie when I remember hearing about it, I was like, why this did not need to happen.
Yeah.
And the more I've heard and the more I've learned about this movie is like, oh God, why are they doing this? For the love of God, please tell me this is just like one of those April Fool's Day things. They've come out with those cheap fake trailers, and that's all this is just a joke. Nope.
Well, you see the CGI, you see Harrison Ford looking younger, like the younger Indy. So there's one of two things. Either he's having flashbacks of something that they're investigating in the normal time that they're in this movie, maybe the 1960s, early 60s or something like that, or they're doing the time travel thing. And please, oh God, please tell me they're not doing time travel. I mean, because
there's been a lot of leaks that it's time travel.
I hope not. Yeah,
I hope not as well, because like from what I've heard with the time travel stuff, it's like if that is true, this movie is a garbage dumpster fire.
dead on arrival. Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
like
'cause-
I
yeah.
don't want to see this. Like
Yeah.
I'm not the hugest Indiana Jones guy, but like the last one I thought was okay.
Yeah,
Like I would rather see him mentor, because they're
Yeah.
spoilers. They're gonna make mention of his wife and son. They're not gonna bring them in this film.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, you're not doing that,
yeah.
and you're setting this girl up to be the next Indiana Jones, and with the way apparently that it's gonna happen with time travel, it's gonna be like,
I don't know. Well, of course, obviously here on the Arena Productions, we'll be giving our reactions to the film when it comes out next year in June. So at the end of June. So yeah, stay tuned for that, and yeah, we'll be bringing you more updates and information on it as well as we get closer to the film's release. But anyway, let's get into gaming, Burley, because of course this morning show is about video games. So let's get into the first story, and obviously there are two big games coming out today, and one of them is Midnight Suns. So I'm going to go over the reviews that have come out for the game. So I'm going to give you the link for all you video viewers, gamespot.com. So this is their review roundup. So I'm going to read a little bit of it for you. So, quote, a story about the power of friendship between a bunch of misfits, which is forged and strengthened through battle as much as traditional social scenarios, end quote. Jordan Ramey wrote in GameSpot's Marvel Midnight Suns review, quote, Midnight Suns aims to combine relationship building with memorable role-playing moments. And the result is a stellar turn-based tactical combat title driven by interesting characters, end quote. So, yeah. So, GameSpot gave it an 8 out of 10. Video Games Chronicle gave it 5 out of 5. So I'll read that one. Quote, Marvel's Midnight Suns combines addictive, deep strategy gameplay with a cast of characters that make the moments outside of the action just as rich and enjoyable as those in it. A lengthy campaign, packed with missions to go on and relationships to form with Earth's mightiest heroes, make Marvel's Midnight Suns a modern strategy classic and one of 2022's biggest surprises, end quote. And that was from Jordan Midler. PC Gamer gave it an 88 out of 100. Games Radar, 4 out of 5. RPG Site, 8 out of 10. IGN gave it an 8 out of 10. So this is from Dan Stapleton, quote, with Marvel's Midnight Suns, Firaxis has put itself in the league of RPG developers like BioWare, Obsidian, Bethesda, and Larian. Its innovative turn-based hero combat system takes a bit of time to get going, but once it does, it makes excellent use of card game mechanics to keep battles fresh, evolving, and unpredictable over the course of an epic-length campaign. Bashing enemies into things for increased damage is endlessly entertaining, end quote. So that was from Dan Stapleton. So, yeah, it's gotten really good reviews. So, what are you surprised, Burley? What do you think, man?
I am a little surprised that this game has been getting as much good reviews as I've seen and heard.
Mm-hmm.
So, which is good. I don't want bad games.
Right.
This game, from what I've seen, has made me drawn me in that of like, oh, I need to play this. I need to pick this up.
Mm-hmm.
So I will check it out and check out watching people play it and see for myself if it's something that I'll want to pick up right away, or be like, I'll pick this up on a sale and try it.
Yeah.
Or if not for me, like so far for me, it's just been like, yeah, other than having a bunch of Marvel characters that I'd love to see and play as,
yeah,
not enough that makes me want to drop the money down. How about you?
I've never been one for games with card-based mechanics in it.
Yeah.
You know? I've just never been into those types of strategy games. I just never have. So, I mean, this would be something, if it came to Game Pass, I would probably try it. just to see if I would actually be able to get into the card game mechanics of it all. But I just those type of games have always kind of turned me off in a sense, But maybe it's a little bit different this time. I don't know, but yeah, I couldn't fork out like $60 or $70 for this. Just it wouldn't be my cup of tea, I think.
Hey, totally understand. And we got Dark Fairy in the chat saying morning.
Hey,
Good
morning,
morning,
Dark Fairy. Yep.
Yeah, I don't mind.
Go ahead, Burley.
Sorry, I don't mind card mechanics in games, but this seemed to me I'd rather have this as an actual action RPG and just play this.
Yeah,
that's the thing. And we have Take in the chat agreed with Burley.
Hey, Take. Hey, Gambare Nippon.
Take. Sorry.
Yes. Take is one of my students, so yes.
my
Take,
bad.
Did you get up? Take, did you get up at 4 a.m. to watch the game? To watch the Japan-Spain match? Please tell me no. Please tell me no. Anyway. So Take says agreed with Burley. Yeah. So yeah, on Midnight Sun. Yeah. So
more people should.
Yep. Cool. All right. Okay.
No, Take says nah.
Good man. Yes.
Smart.
Get the sleep. Yeah, the sleep is more important. Yeah, especially probably in the elimination round. You'll want to sleep instead of watch it. Who knows? But anyway. All right, so next up we're going to talk Callisto Protocol. So Callisto Protocol also drops today. So after we fly the drone, Burley, get the drone controller ready, and we're going to fly the drone. And once the drone comes back, we will get to the Callisto Protocol review roundup right after this. Stay tuned. All right, so the Callisto Protocol comes out today. I cannot wait to play this game, Burley. I'm going to be downloading it probably a couple hours after we do this morning show. So I'm looking forward to doing it. But I decided, Burley, I'm going to play it on the Series X. Do you know why?
Because why am I going to $10 cheap?
It's $10 cheaper. That is correct. Yeah, it's like $60 on Xbox Series X, $70 on the PlayStation 5. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm going to save that $10. Yeah. So anyway, Callisto Protocol review roundup. So I'm going to go ahead and throw in the link to the story from trueachievements.com. So you can go and check that out. So all the reviews are there. So I'm going to read a few of them for you. So overall, the Callisto Protocol has received a good reception, if not a little mixed. Generally, the reviews are mostly positive, with the game receiving praise for its excellent visuals and at times intense gameplay. But for you, Take, here in Japan, we cannot play this game because the Japanese rating board could not come to a conclusion because they thought it was too violent of a game. So, Take, if you're going to play the game like me, get the US version, obviously. So, if you're diving into the Callisto Protocol later today, don't forget to give the Callisto Protocol achievements a look over before you do, of course, because this is from trueachievements.com if you're playing on the Xbox side of things. So let me read some of the reviews here. So PC Gamer gave it a 79 out of 100. Quote, gory and moody, the Callisto Protocol doesn't mess with the survival horror formula, instead embracing all its beats and cliches to tell a grim sci-fi tale that drips with menace, end quote. IGN gave it a
Take saying, sorry, in the chat saying, what? Yeah, we covered this on an earlier episode. Japan is not getting this game because they didn't.
Right.
They wanted to have them force change the game. The developer said, no, we're not doing that. So
That's right. Take, I told you this. I think in one of your classes, I came up to you and told you about Callisto Protocol because, the ratings board in Japan, they said it was too gory, too bloody, too violent, so they couldn't rate it. so it didn't pass the ratings here in Japan, so it can't be sold here. But like I said, just get the US version. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Just buy the US version if you're going to play. So anyway, so back to the reviews. So let me go ahead and read the IGN review. Quote, "The Callisto Protocol is a satisfyingly gory spiritual successor to the Dead Space series, but it's ultimately more of a striking modern mimic than a scary new mutation," end quote. Interesting. GameSpot, 5 out of 10, Burley, on GameSpot. Quote, "Though it starts off on a strong note, the Callisto Protocol's focus on action-heavy spectacles fails to adequately explore its horror and overcrowds its weak combat mechanics," end quote. So the Gamer gave it a 2.5 out of 5. Quote, "It's a shame that the Callisto Protocol is so uninteresting at its core. Though it looks gorgeous on the surface, a dozen hours of nothing special can have a clarifying effect. Like a monstrous two-headed enemy banging Jacob's head into the ground until it collapses, the game's tedium forces you to reckon with the fact that there just isn't much once the facade splatters away," end quote. So those are some of the kind of negative reviews. Let me read one of the positive reviews here. Dexerdo gave it a 5 out of 5. Quote, "A wonderfully exhausting exercise in futility is probably the best way of describing the Callisto Protocol, as no matter the strength of my own resolve, I was constantly on edge and reveling in those fleeting moments where the game allowed me to breathe following yet another life-threatening fight," end quote. PC Games In gave it a 9 out of 10. Quote, "A spiritual successor to Dead Space, it blends and riffs on ideas from the best horror games of recent years with plenty of blood and guts to go around. Though a lackluster plot is its one minor flaw," end quote. So yeah, Burley, I kind of agree with the Dexterdo. Just constantly on edge. That's what I want. I want to be constantly on edge and fleeting moments where like, oh my god, am I gonna die in the next second or two? That's what I want out of this game, and that's what Dead Space gave me such a long time ago. Your thoughts on these reviews?
Yeah, well, it's standard. Here's the thing. These horror survival games, it's either really it hits with someone or it doesn't.
Yeah.
So, and the problem is they could have a guy that normally plays your open world, mass open world games and put them to review this, and they're not into that style because they want to go everywhere and just go where there is openings and stuff in places, but you are confined to the location you're in.
Right.
So they may not like that. I think this game will probably be. I think it's probably pretty good. I've heard from everything I've heard from people that got to play it early. It is good, and I know some people are mad about the runtime of how long this is going to take you to beat. These aren't never like 20-hour games. Here's the thing: if the first playthrough is a great 12 hours, and every session I put this game down, I'm like, frick, I want to keep playing, but I got to go to sleep because I got to work the next day or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like, I want to just keep playing, and it keeps wanting me to come back for more and more and more.
Yeah.
It's like, that's what you want.
Right.
So, plus, you can do the second playthrough with the New Game Plus and all that stuff.
Exactly, yeah.
Well, I know New Game Plus isn't coming in hardcore mode until next year, but
next year, yeah.
Some of this stuff, but it's just like, you're good. If you're into this style of game, I think you'll get what you want.
Yeah.
If not, I would not make this probably your first into the survival horror. Like if you've got Game Pass, if you have Game Pass, play the Dead Space original, and then go from there. Or some of the Resident Evil games if you got them.
Or wait until next year, because early next year, Dead Space is being remastered. So you can play that and check that out. But yeah, I'm excited to play it. I'm gonna play it. I'm looking forward to it. And of course, the supporting cast looks pretty good. So Karen Fukuhara is in it as well. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. So all right, Burley. This game actually is in Japan. It's big in Japan. Persona 5, and it's still doing very, very well. Doing very, very well. So we're going to be talking about that next, right after this. So stay tuned. Six years on, Persona 5 just shipped another 1 million copies in just over a month. And that is mainly due to the release of Persona 5 Royale. And obviously, our other co-host on the Arena Multiplatform Gaming News podcast, Turn-Based Carl, he is playing that and he is enjoying it. He's put over 50 hours in already. So yeah, I mean, and this is from the article from Games Radar. So I'm going to read a little bit of it for you here. So, and some interesting numbers on the Persona series. So the Persona 5 series has hit another 1 million copies sold 6 years after first being released. Developer Atlas only just announced the new sales milestone for Persona 5 on December 1st, which was yesterday. Persona 5 Royale, thanks to its recent re-releases across PlayStation, Xbox, PC, and Nintendo Switch devices, has sailed past another 1 million copies sold since it launched in October. But here's the interesting news here. All things told, this means the whole Persona 5 series is currently standing tall at 8.3 million copies sold since Persona 5 first launched in Japan back in 2016. That's combining sales figures from Persona 5, Persona 5 Royale, Persona 5 Dancing in Starlight, and the Persona 5 Strikers spin-off sequel developed by Koei Tecmo. Earlier this year in October, it was reported the Persona series at large had sold 15.5 million units worldwide since its inception. The really interesting nugget of info from that figure was that the Persona 5 series had made up 46.6% of that 15.5 million number, meaning the most recent mainline release in the RPG series is absolutely carrying the Persona franchise at large. And then, of course, Burley, it goes on to say that early next year, we're going to be getting the Persona 3 and the Persona 4 games on console as well. Of course, they're going to be coming to Game Pass as well, too. So, what do you think of these numbers, man?
It is surprising that it's still, after all this, another million. That is awesome. And you've got a lot of people playing through Game Pass, and some people that just haven't picked it up. But it's still going strong, and this is awesome to see. This was a huge game when it did come out, and to see 6 years later the Royale version come to next gen and come to all the systems and PC,
right.
doing this well. This is awesome.
Yeah,
I think this helps Atlas and Sega, because Sega owns Atlas. Show
yes,
there's still market for this. We need to still push for this in the West.
Yep. Yeah, and I just want to mention, I played Persona 4 Golden on the Vita, and I put like over 200 hours into that game on the Vita. And I'm telling you, that game is going to be huge when it comes, especially when it comes to Xbox. I mean, Persona 5 Royale now is really huge on Xbox. Persona 4 Golden is going to be really big as well. So when it gets there. So yeah, I'm really excited for Xbox gamers that really haven't had a chance to play the Persona series now. They're getting a chance to play the Danganronpa series as well now. So that's another big series besides Persona. Yeah, I mean, getting a chance to play 3 and 4 especially. 4 is one of the biggest ones besides 5. So, and of course they're developing 6 now too. Persona 6 will be coming. We'll probably get some kind of announcement trailer next year, Burley, I think, for Persona 6.
I think you're right. Next year would be time for them to give maybe like a teaser or something about Persona 6. Because they have done a lot with 5. They had the Royal Edition, they had the dancing spin-off, they had the action game spin-off with Strikers.
Yeah, and Strikers was on PS Plus, I think.
That was last year, I think, December or November of PS Plus last year. And you can play Strikers without playing Persona 5. I can say that much
It's
because
a
I only had
standalone. Yeah.
I had like 30 hours in Persona 5, but I went to Strikers. It
Right.
doesn't reveal the plot to you.
Right.
It
Right.
actually does a really good job. I highly recommend if you're into those action RPGs,
Yeah.
do Strikers. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. It's good stuff. Good stuff. All right, so those are our stories for tonight. So before we finish up, I guess we'll mention some of the things we're going to be going and doing this weekend, of course, here on the Arena Productions. Of course, the Arena Multi-Platform Gaming News Podcast, episode 114, we're going to be recording tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. We're also going to be recording season 1, episodes 1 and 2 of Willow, which is on Disney Plus. We're going to be recording our reactions video to that, so episodes 1 and 2, and then of course the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special. We're going to be recording our reactions video to that as well. So we got a busy slate this weekend coming up with content coming up for you here on the Arena Production, so stay tuned for all of that. So yeah, good stuff, man. So anyway, Burley, what are you going to be playing this weekend and into next week? Yeah,
well, this weekend I don't know what much. I'm going to try and get some Xenoblade time in. I haven't had as much lately on that. So I want to try and finish that up before, especially with Dragon Quest coming.
Yeah, Dragon Quest Treasures, yeah.
So my kind of plans, finish that, finish Xenoblade in the next bit. Sunday, I'm going to plan on streaming some Mario Kart, so
cool.
Go back to that.
Nice. Yeah, for me, I'm going to start probably tomorrow, Callisto Protocol, play some of that before the podcast so we can discuss it a little bit. And then continue with God of War Ragnarok. So, yeah,
nice.
Continuing with that. So, and then another Xbox game, of course, Plague Tale Requiem. I really got to get back to that. I want to try to finish that before the end of the year as well. So, yeah, a lot of great games. Yeah, so December is not a slow month.
No,
that's for sure. I mean, this year, December's got a lot of games coming out, and then of course we got the Game Awards. We got that coming next week, and obviously at the time of the Game Awards, I will be working, here in Japan. My time in the world, but Burley will be, of course, doing live reactions to the Game Awards. For the Arena Productions at that time, and we'll be talking about that later on. So, we'll be getting that all squared away. So, I want to thank Dark Fairy for coming in. Thank you so much. Take, thanks a lot for coming in. Yoroshiku ne. So, thank you so much for being with us today. I really appreciate you coming in, man. And everybody else that watches in video on demand, we appreciate all of you. And thank you so much. And be sure to hit that like and the subscribe and the notification bell if you are new to the channel. So you'll be notified anytime we drop a new video here on the Arena Productions. So thank you so much for that. So, yeah. Burley, any last words? Anything you want to say?
No, and Take says GG in the chat. Thank you. Thank you everyone so much for the support. Like X-Pac said, please do go. If you're new here and you like what you see, please do go check it out. Also, don't forget, if as we're doing these live, if you want to support the channel and get yourself some cool little emoticons, check out our membership with the join button.
Yeah, good stuff, man. Yeah. All right, so that's going to do it for the Friday edition of the Arena Multi-Platform Gaming News Podcast Morning Show here on the Arena Productions. We hope to catch you again next Monday. And just another reminder, the Arena Multi-Platform Gaming News Podcast, our weekly podcast episode, will be dropping probably around Sunday morning in the West. So we're going to be recording it on Saturday. So stay tuned for that, as well as our Willow episodes and, of course, the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special. So all that's going to be coming your way soon. So, yep. So I've been your host, Expat, along with my co-host, Burley of Burley Gaming. We hope to catch you in the next one. So the next morning show will be on Monday. So have a great Friday and a great weekend, everyone. So take care.
Take care, everyone.
Peace out.